things, which is weird to me. I think you're a secret trans. I think one day you're gonna finally fucking confess, and we'll all be a lot happier.
The year of 2023 is almost over.
I maintain that we are getting sucked into some kind of black hole.
Why do you say that?
I feel like time's been getting faster, and my evidence for that is old people are younger than old people were when we were young. You know?
I get that.
Like I like there are photos of me as a baby with my grandparents, right? And they were like, 50 or something. Probably not even that, you know? But they looked like old people.
Yeah.
You know, at that age, they were probably like 48 or some shit, you know, when I was like one. Or like a fucking sub one, like a nubbin, you know. And yeah, they look fucking old, you know. And then, you know, our parents' generation, you know, time kind of took a bit of a bat to them. And then you start,
and the sun, don't forget the sun.
Yeah, like I feel like cigarettes on the nutrition pyramid and literally fucking cooking oil instead of sunscreen didn't help. You know, I feel like that didn't help. And then my grandparents were probably just having like fucking, I don't know, asbestos for dinner. So, you know, it's probably something to do there. But like, you know, because it's something you notice in a lot of shit. Like, because so many pro wrestlers these days are at an age, and I mean like big ones, still going, still look good, can still move. You know, so, all right, some of them have knees made out of stem cells and squirrels, but still, like, you know, they look fine and healthy and like capable. And then you go back in time and it's like, oh, here's this thing that looks like an orc and a halfling mated and then lived in a mine for like a century. And he's 29. It's like, fuck me. You know, like you look at a young Arn Anderson and he looks like 40 from age 21 and then just that's it. You know? And like, it's just, I don't know, the last year, I didn't even notice. You know, maybe I just haven't been paying attention, to be honest.
No, I feel you on time. Like, it definitely feels shorter. Fucking way shorter. So yeah, I've been, life has been life, eh?
Yeah, you've been off doing shit.
School is hard.
Like some kind of fucking nerd.
Yeah. Like, school is so fucking hard. Like, the thing I hate about TAFE, and for those in America would be, I think it would be akin to community college, wouldn't it? Kinda.
The college system in the States is weird. Know. Yeah, like it's probably more like a vocational college, something like that. So you can go there to, you know, be an electrician. You can get like a certain fucking learning how to touch wires and not die. You know, so you won't get like a degree. You get certifications. And these certifications can run the gamut, lots of things. Again, like it's a perfectly interesting and valid, you know, form of adult education. There's lots of neat stuff there. Some of it I think is a bit fucking expensive.
Oh, definitely.
But like, you know, like you're doing what, a certain, you know,
diploma of music.
Yeah, diploma of music.
TAFE stands for Technical and Further Education.
Yeah, like it's the place you go to if you want to get like into uni as well.
Yeah, if you didn't get the grades you needed to like just walk into your course.
No, yeah, because I got like, I think the OP I got when I finished high school, because I just stopped going to like several classes.
Yeah.
And those were like classes that counted towards your OP.
Oh, yeah. So you got like diddly squat.
I think I got like a 21 or something. I don't know. I was pretty high.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And that's like, I think 24 is the lowest you can get.
I think I got around a 14.
That's not bad, actually.
Considering I missed a whole year of school, yeah.
Yeah.
It was around 14 or 16. It was around there.
I mean, I don't know what the fucking rules are about like where that can, you know, get you in. You might have to go learn animal husbandry and Toowoomba.
Well, I accidentally joined a robotics course.
That's funny to me. That's right, because you signed up for something, then you wound up at one of the weird, you accidentally clicked on one of the things that's like the fucking way off in the middle of nowhere campuses.
Way back when in 2004, websites were not designed well, and I ended up going to a very far away campus.
So funny.
They just switched the curriculum from the IT program. So I landed in at a bad time, and it was all about robotics.
Yeah.
So that's why I went for like 6 months and then never came back.
I had a friend who's like last year of his IT course was literally as the first .com crash was happening.
Amazing.
Yeah. So like it went from, if you finish an IT degree, you can just go to any business and go, I would like this much money, please. And they just give it to you. Like, again, it crashed for a reason. But like, yeah, just as the course is like, third year fucking winding, getting all the hard shit out of the way, wrapping it up. And it's just like, oh, hey, okay. So while you were studying, the industry just exploded. So, have fun. Enjoy.
So yeah, I've been doing diploma of music. It's full time. So I go 3 days a week. It's at the creative campus, which is an hour away. But like,
isn't the Gold Coast?
It is, yeah. It's a free course. It was fee free. So I don't have to pay anything.
That's good.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But like a 3 day, you think, 3 days, that's not bad. It doesn't turn into 3 days.
Because it's the full day, isn't it? Like you'll have like a morning and an afternoon block.
No.
Okay.
So like my classes started at 2 and went to like 8 and 7. And my other class went from like 8 till 4 on a different day.
Right. But I like, so from 2 p.m. to like 8 p.m.
Yeah. Second half of the day is gone.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, yeah.
Like spending extra days going on campus because we can use studios there.
Right. Yeah.
We can rent equipment.
At least they have facilities. Like, that's nice.
You can rent like $5,000 microphones. Just go to the studios and go nuts. Like, it's crazy.
What's a $5,000 microphone do? I just,
those ones mostly, honestly, these days, not a lot. It's more of a thing, this was the gold standard back in the day, like the high end one and stuff. But nowadays, because technology's advanced so much, we get really good quality products.
Well, it's like cameras and shit.
So, and because that name's been a brand name back since when?
Yeah, it's just, this is how much it costs.
Like the thing is, certain microphones have sort of a signature sound to them in the way it captures audio and stuff. So like some people can tell, like, that was recorded with this sort of microphone, that
some
sort of
people,
thing.
They got the shine.
No, they do. Yeah, so it's nice, but yeah, it's been rough, especially like there's a subject called
sonic weapons.
Pretty much. I think it's oral perception and something or other, and it's music theory,
right?
And it works on listening to tones and semitone, and like you learn all this stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's just a lot for my brain.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because you got to sit down and listen to tones for like an hour, like, and it drives you fucking nuts.
This is starting to sound like some shit from The Prisoner. I'm just imagining, you in one of those little egg chairs, like a big set of headphones on, and just someone somewhere chanting oral perceptions. Boop. Oral perceptions. Beep. Oral perceptions. Boop. Like and you're just doing that for like 6 solid hours.
Yeah.
And now you're like some kind of, sleeper agent for God only knows.
I feel like it. The other classes I had was composed music, and so
that makes sense. I understand that.
That's using things like Pro Tools and stuff we had to make a minute jingle for a company and stuff like that. I struggle in those. I know, like I don't find I'm that creative in that sort of part. Like I'm technical.
Right.
Like I learn the program in and out. I'm good with the program. I love the program, but then I have to be a human. And that sucks.
Call it something creative. Your DJ name should be Undergraduate Ray.
So that one sucked. Edit Music was a bit better because it uses the same programs. And there's like a Need for Speed clip with like no audio. And we get a bank of sounds and we have to change those sounds to fit the video.
You have to find just the right Slipknot song to go along with it.
No songs, just sounds.
Okay.
Things like, rocks being hit. Essentially using Foley sounds and you're editing those sounds to be something completely different.
Right.
Which is cool. It's interesting. What else we did? We did record sound, which is mainly setting up studios, recording songs and things like that. That one I think is my favorite because it's just cable plugging and software operation. And like, it's just very practical. Like at the moment I'm like looking at an autism diagnosis.
It's funny you mentioned that.
I said to my mom, Mom, I think I might have autism. She's like, yeah, probably. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
Just pats you on the shoulder and just walks away. Back in my day, we just called you spaz nuts.
I have a lot of
autism.
Yeah, I have a lot of
transgender furry. You enjoy anime fighting games. I mean, look, it writes itself. I'm sorry. Like the stereotypes exist for a reason. When I was in the fucking special school, guess what was the one way you could control the autistics? And I mean, I don't mean I have slight Asperger's or even I enjoy the cable plugging autism. I mean, entities. Do you know how you controlled them? Minecraft.
Yeah.
There were Minecraft blocks, books, and like hyper padded tablets with Minecraft on it. And you would hold that shit like, look, just stop, just sit still.
I'm not in that sphere because like I'm bad at Minecraft and I don't like it. It makes me upset.
There are a lot of colors in the spectrum.
No, I know.
Minecraft controls the ultraviolet breed.
Yeah,
like that's, you're more like the Blade of autistics.
Yeah. Because like I'm not really socially bad when it comes to talking to people. Like if someone talks to me, I can, I'm human enough to be able to talk back to them. I don't like it, but
you don't just squawk.
Yeah. Which is, so like people have never really looked, but it's just stuff I struggle with. When I went to university and when I was in my final years of high school, I had the same thing. Just like
autism.
Couldn't do assignments. Like just can't because of the demand of it. And it's just something blocks in my brain and I just can't. Like I physically will sit trying to do one thing for 6 hours, just questions, like 10 questions. And my mind's just like, no. It's like the hot stove. It's like, fuck.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, it's a similar thing with the ADHD. There's a chemical that's supposed to happen and it doesn't happen in the right quantity. And so the thing is, it's like the thing that I've been saying. It's like you have to think 4 times to get one thought done.
Yeah.
You got to chase the thing around the fucking room. And there's usually a comorbidity of like, ADHD symptoms with, gentler ends of the spectrum, autism.
Because, the like knowing how to plug the studio and just repeating that, like even if it's a different setup, it's the same.
Yeah.
And just learning that, like I like that.
It makes the brain happy.
Yeah.
It's like that thing that in fucking, what was it? The daycare center for Jerry's, where one of the setups was just like AV plugs.
Yeah. No, pretty much.
Pretty much. I remember looking at that and just thinking,
yeah. Because like we have sound and lighting, which is like we control the lighting desk and stuff like that. I like that.
We control the lighting desk.
That's fun. That's really fun because like
silence. Autism controls your lights.
Because it's a big desk, right? And it's essentially there's a computer in the desk with a bunch of buttons and faders, and it controls all the lights on the stage. And, different lights have different door flaps and stuff to make them do different stuff. Lights come with flaps. And that's really fun. And we've got a program that we can install on our own computers that essentially mimics the desk. And then there's another program that connects to that and interprets.
I was going to say, I bet
shows it.
I was going to say, I bet you can just download that whole desk as an app now.
A lot of places, the thing is a lot of places still use desks like these. Some of them are definitely more smaller systems like on an iPad and stuff these days. But yeah, like.
I mean, I figure everywhere that built the desk prior to like 2010 is probably just going to keep the fucking desk.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got it there now.
Well, absolutely. The thing is like it doesn't really change in function.
Yeah.
It controls lights. And if that does that.
The light flap hasn't changed in like 100 years.
Yeah.
You're probably using the same light flaps that the vaudevillain,
And our teacher for this was really fucking cool because he was a year older than me. We liked a lot of the same music and apparently we went to a lot of the same shows. So we just got on really well. And he plays games as well. So like he used to play Street Fighter in the arcades. And I was like, damn, like hell's yeah. Because I was talking about the new one and he was like, he told me a story when he went to Aspley, the hype to play and like a guy just offered him meth. But
I was thinking, Aspley used to have a pretty good arcade actually, and a guy offered him meth. Yeah.
And,
great meth scene in Aspley.
And it was great because his power, he got made to take them down, but he was using. Apparently, you can't use in the slides. You've got to write your sources for images and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, in music and lighting, there's a connection. It's called a DMX, and
Wonder where this is going.
he forgot to delete one. There was one DMX in there, and I love it because it's a DMX address, which stands for I think what was it? Direct multi something.
What did DMX stand for? Now that I think about it, I mean, I just never questioned
Demand
it.
X.
Yeah, it was, you gonna question DMX? Fuck no. But now he's dead, so I'm curious.
Digital multiplex. That's it.
All right.
So essentially, you can have like, how many was it? You can have 512 channels through a DMX. So
that's a lot, man.
every channel, like one light might take up one channel, and then that light might have 6 different functions in it. So there's 6 more channels.
Channels within the channels.
So yeah, but then you can like have different universes. So that's one universe. And you can have a second DMX universe. Like this shit gets really complex. Like if I'm talking like the stadium with, 50,000 people in it. Complex, those sorts of ones where you're going to have lights. Because those
like you have to have the right
stage, then the middle thing, and it keeps going back.
You have to have the right lights to keep the fucking mums and daughters in the Pink concert from going berserk and just eating her.
The strobe function, you should never use more than 6 seconds.
Huh.
6 seconds is how long it takes to induce a
epileptic fit.
So like strobing is literally just, you have your lights on a fader, right? And let's just say this one's the psych, which stands for the cyclorama, which is the backdrop of the stage. Cyclorama. I know, it's so fucking cool. And like it goes red, right? At the bottom it's off, turn the top, full on intensity. If you put it half intensity and you flash it, it goes to full intensity. So that's how you strobe.
Okay.
So it just flips between the 2 modes and stuff.
Huh.
And yeah, no longer than 6 seconds of that.
Yeah, otherwise you'll break people. It'll just be drooling cunts in the audience. So they're not coming back.
We did watch a video on YouTube of a guy explaining it, and there was different nicknames for them. There was like audience abuser, which was great because it's flashing in the audience's face. Yeah, that class was really cool. I passed that class
Audience abuser
pretty easily. The next one was live sound, and that's more of like you're taking care of the sound for the musicians, going into all their instruments and everything coming to you.
So doing a mix for like a live show kind of thing. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the assessment was we had to do a line check. So make sure
testes, everything's connected. And
so that everything's working and registering on the console. Then we level them, like because there's foldbacks on the stage, and that's like we have to do a live measuring of that. Like the band came in, and let's just say the guitarist was on the right, bassist was on the left. There's a keys player over there, and I'm talking to the keys player because there's a foldback speaker next to them, and I'm like, "What would you like in your speaker?" And he's like, "Oh, can I get the guitar? The drums." So I can send those instruments to his speaker so he can hear it.
And then sync up his.
And we do that with every single person.
Right.
With near a speaker.
Huh.
And then they run through it. There's another person who's doing the mixing of the front of house. They do that on an iPad. The other person's on a console. The iPad literally just controls console. Like you'll sit there and like I'm not touching the console and I'll see letters moving up and down. Which is really cool.
Haunted.
Yeah, it's Ghostbusters up in this. And that scared the shit out of me because this is the class that starts at 8 a.m. and I missed most of them because I don't function.
Because 8 a.m. and you have to get to the Gold Coast.
I know, so I have to leave at 6:30.
Yeah, I mean, like if someone said you got to get to the Gold Coast by 8 a.m., I just quit. Oh no, so fuck this.
I knew it was the last day for the assessment, so I knew I had to come in. So I got up, get out of bed, and me and my friend are there. We're waiting, we're talking. 15 minutes go past. Teacher's still not there. Teacher shows up and is like, "Oh, didn't you guys read the announcement?" And I'm just like, We start at 10 today. This is 8:15 in the morning.
I know. I was gonna say, didn't you read the announcement? As always, just it's such a
it's a blow.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, now what?
Oh,
I had like a fucking journalism tutorial at 7 a.m. on a Monday.
Oh,
And this was when I was working at Bowery. So, I'd finish work. I was working Sundays. So I'd finish work at like fucking 2 a.m. and then just get poleaxed fucking drunk.
yeah.
And the amount of times I just hadn't slept, it's just like, all right, so I finished work at about 2, everyone else is going off and partying. So I'm going to go there and do that. And then it'd be like, if you do that for 3 hours, then it's just like, well, I got to be at uni in 2 hours. It's just like, what am I going to do? Get a 45-minute fucking power sleep? Fuck no.
Yeah.
Just give me some fucking meth and I'll be good. I'll just cruise on in and hope to Christ that shit doesn't wear off by the time I fucking get there. And it did once, and that was kind of interesting. Everyone knew I was really fucked up, but also like I was just being very quiet. Just like, you okay? It's like, no, I haven't slept. I do bar work.
So yeah, I was expecting to do this exam and it wasn't happening for at least another 2 hours.
That's funny.
So I had already had one energy drink on the way in, went and bought another one and kept it beside me to drink as like the class started. And my friend was working on an assessment and I was just lying on the ground. I was just like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'm in pain. I haven't slept because I slept for like 3 hours as well because I don't sleep at night.
So fucking, didn't you really know? Yeah, you could have been asleep for 2 extra hours. You could have.
I know.
You could have. Remember when you woke up and you were like, this is hell and I want to murder everybody? Yeah, that didn't need to happen.
Yeah. So I made it. And then we had to do the assessment and I'm like, I'm wired from 2 energy drinks. I'm shaking. It's not good. Like I've got a lot of anxiety and because like there was me and like one other person who hadn't gone. So
where's everybody else? They already graduate?
Well, most of them have already done it. So they haven't come. Like a lot of people just don't show up for the early class because it's so early or they come late. So I do it and it gets to the band comes in and then like my teacher's like, all right, Amber, introduce yourself to the band and talk to them. And I'm just like, I'm like, no. It's like, and we're like, you could do it. And so I'm like, I did it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he takes me aside and he's like, I just want to say that like you did an amazing job. I thought you were going to fall flat on your face because you haven't like been here and all this stuff. And it was like, but your attendance really needs to improve. And I'm like, I know. Like, trust me, I know. Like, I'm trying.
Dude, 8 a.m., man. Come on.
It's rough.
I gotta be on a Gold
now
Coast
I have.
train.
I looked at the timetable for next year, and I have 2 9 a.m. starts.
That's not great.
No,
especially like it's
because I went from 1 early start to 2.
Yeah, it's because you got to be like I'd keep an eye out for if there's any way to change because like you'll find that by second semester there'll be dropouts, and if there's a later start class, there'll be openings. And you can start going, hey.
The problem is the other class kind of has earlies as well. They're just on different days.
Shit.
I know. Because I know some people in the other class.
Oh, you just fucked them. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't know what to tell you.
So yeah, I passed that. I was happy with that. And he's like, now, do you have something else due? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's due today. He's like, I'm going away soon. He's like, can you go work on that? And I'm like, yes, I will. Passed me on the spot. I went home to work on the other assessment that was due that day that I hadn't finished. I got that done.
Was that one of those ones you can just hand in online?
Yeah.
That shit fucking rules, man.
That was for copyright.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, just being able to just submit essays online without having to get up and go into the fucking, because that changed from when I was doing journalism at uni to when I was doing education. Like I still had to like physically hand in essays. And
that's
like,
yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I got to go in. I got to get I got to get it stamped and I get like a receipt. And it's just like.
Now it's just like click.
Yeah, I just click.
It's done.
Congratulations. That's good.
I finished that. A thing popped up on my notifications on TAFE that I'd failed the one he said I passed. So I freaked out about that. It just said did not submit on both like the attempts. And I emailed him and was like, hey,
remember that chat
was I supposed to hand something physically into the online like submit thing? Was there a question form for this? I didn't think there was one. Just covering my bases. And he sent back, oh no, it's a mistake on my side. I'll fix it. I'm like, oh thank God.
He didn't click a thing that.
No.
Yeah.
It said like it's just like a timer probably ran out.
Yeah.
And was like ding ding. It was like, okay. So that sucked. So Yeah, I'm done for the year. Thank fuck. Because just that and many other things have just been taking so much of my time.
Oh, man. I mean, you know.
I stole a man's chicken.
Live or rotisserie?
They were wings.
Okay.
We were in the movies. And we'd ordered wings. And the wings came.
Right.
We ate the wings. 10 minutes go past. They bring me another plate of wings. I didn't order these wings. I'm not going to say anything because I want free damn wings.
If you bring me wings, I'm gonna fucking eat them.
Yes.
Okay. You're not allowed to grumble with what I do with the wings you bring me.
So I grab one off the plate and I start biting it. They come back and are like, "Oh, this is a mistake. Sorry." And I've just like slipped the chicken like beside my legs and then don't see I got the chicken. And they brought it to the table in front of us.
Oh, that's funny.
So they're missing one piece of chicken because I got some chicken.
Madam, I regret to inform you I have licked all of it.
I was close to like handling it all.
Yeah.
I'd only touched one, luckily.
I apologize. I know that might seem strange. This is just, you know, I don't know if you grew up with siblings. This is just how I deal with meals now. Now, you can take these wings away and you can give them to their rightful owners. But I have licked them. All of them.
I'm just laughing my ass off because I'm sitting here just eating this wing while I'm peering down, looking at them to see if they notice their one
You're
wing
behind
left.
them. Hey, we're missing a wing. And you're just like, forbidden wing.
Yeah.
It's not so you can get wings in a theater these days. Because I remember back in the day.
Beds in the theater.
Yeah, they got the fancy ones now. I mean, look, I think that's a nice idea. Like, I just like, because I got a Dendy down the road from me, and it has like, you know, they're not the huge ones, but they're nice, they're comfortable cinemas. But it means I can go to like the movies on a Tuesday, you know, morning, and you know, it'll either be me by myself, which is great, or me by myself and the other weirdos who go to the movies at a Tuesday morning because they don't want other people there.
Yeah.
And the great thing about us is we shut the fuck up and watch the movie. There is not a stray fucking sound because it's people who just want to watch the fucking movie. Don't have to deal with any weird shit. There are no children. I'm going to go see Godzilla -1 that way probably tomorrow or the next day. I'm fucking looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
In other news, Centrelink fucked me over.
It's so funny because like everybody else has such a hard time with it, but they just seem to like me.
I get a call a week and a half ago on a Friday saying, "Hello, you know,
must be like the number one customer.
Centrelink can, you know, confirm some details, blah, blah, blah." I thought it was a scam call at first.
Which you would.
So I'm being a little cagey with my details. And he asked me to
be like, hey, how about I call you like Centrelink back?
Yeah.
And then that way I know I've called Centrelink and I haven't been called by Chinese upstairs Centrelink.
And they're calling to tell me that apparently I had 2 CRNs. What a CRN is
customer reference
is your
number.
customer reference number. It's what you exist as in their system, right? And they go, "Oh, you've got 2.
Wasn't there a whole didn't you go through this once where you were trying to find it and they deleted it or hidden it or something? Like, didn't we?
No.
I vaguely remember you had like 2 identities or some shit.
What do you mean I have 2? There's one created back in 2020. And I'm like, I used you for the first time last year. And they're like, "Oh, well, we've deleted the other one." And I'm like, "Excuse me? What do you mean deleted?"
You no longer exist.
Yeah, no, pretty much. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, we've deleted it because it was a duplicate." And I'm like, I had my payments on that, my concession card, my senior card, like my pensioner card, like I should say,
card.
Pretty much my life is on that card.
Oh yeah, like that's literally like they, you know.
And the guy, I say that, and the guy's like, "Oh no," like. He's a little taken aback.
No, that's when the guy that works there is like, "Oh fuck," like, "Oh God, you can't. Oh shit, you are screwed."
Yeah, so he was like,
because like again in Australia, it's like, you know, this is how you get things like a lot of the time, like, you know, because the right wing states gutted it, is bulk billing doctors and shit. Like a lot of places won't bulk bill you unless you have like just a fucking low income card.
Yeah.
And so you need this. Like, you need this as part of your, like, you know, it's kind of like, the Americans and their fucking social security numbers. Like, it's like you just kind of had like your social security number deleted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
pretty
he's
much.
like, huh?
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to have to look into this. This is probably going to take a long time. I'm going to have to ring you back. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So there's another call coming in at the exact same time.
That's great. Yeah. That's your other number.
And I'm like, okay, I'm like to this guy, okay, bye. So I pick up the other phone and it's someone calling to, or like they've realized they've really fucked up, obviously, because this person's calling to organize me an appointment.
Yeah.
Like at a service center. And I'm like, okay.
They go out of their way to not make you show up physically. So if they call you and go, hey, we should probably get you in here, that's like rare.
I was like, all right. They're like, where do you usually go? And I'm like, Wollongabba. And they're like, she doesn't understand it for like 2 minutes.
Like Bulungalaba.
And I'm spelling it and she's like, oh, it doesn't exist. We're not finding it. I'm like, I've been there.
Wollongabba, Wollongabba exists. I hate to.
It's down as something else. And I'm like,
was it Stone's
But
Corner?
I literally said that, like, no, it was South Brisbane.
Okay.
But I literally said, I have the address if that helps, like, at the start. Because, like, yeah. Anyway, she's like, booking appointment on Monday. It's Friday. And I'm like,
Balloon Bubba.
I'm supposed to report my thing that day. So every week you're supposed to report, did you work or not? Because it's a job seeker payment because I'm looking for a job, but I'm not because I'm disabled.
You're on the, you're on
I am
job
exempt
seeker
because
payment,
I'm doing
but
study.
Yeah, it's not a well-organized system at the moment.
No. So I'm like, I have a payment coming in on Monday. And this lady is like trying to push me off the phone. Like she's trying to hurry along because like she doesn't want to deal with this.
Look, I got a lot of lives to destroy. I'm sorry.
And I was a bit upset. I was like, Monday, I'm like, I have a payment coming. I can't afford to miss this.
Yeah.
And
this is,
and then she's, and I'm like, I
money.
didn't even do anything wrong. I got a call and
I didn't.
And
no, like that.
And she goes, oh, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. And then was like pushing, trying to put, I'm like, bitch, just give me a tiny bit of empathy.
Yeah.
Like,
is anything happening? Like, is my money going to show up on Monday? Like,
get
what
off,
am I doing
like,
here?
no, because they've said basically everything's fucked. So I get off the phone and I rush to the office because I'm like, someone will fucking help me here. And I know they will. There was literally no one in there.
Yeah.
So they could have given me an appointment there that day because it was 3. There was still time to get there. And I explained to the dude what was going on and he gave me a linking code to the new number. We set that up. None of the stuff's there, of course.
Oh.
And I'm like, look, I have a payment coming. He's like, and he reported it. He could report it. So I was still going to get paid. And I'm like, what about my, pension card and stuff like that? I need it for meds because I did need to buy meds that week. He's like, I'll still work until it gets transferred over. I'm like, cool. Went to the pharmacy. It did not work. So I didn't get my meds. Luckily, I've got a bit more and hopefully the new one will show up before then, if it will even show up. Because I'm going to go back into the office because I got paid twice today. This is the thing. They will fuck up.
Yeah.
They will pay you more than you're supposed to pay. Then they will want that back. So I looked at the amounts differences because my old one was $3 more for some reason.
Well, the weird thing is every now and then there'll just be some extra shit.
Yeah.
So they'll just be like, sometimes like, I think a few times a year, there's like some weird power rebate thing.
No, but like consistently, like mine's the same number, but like on the new CRN, it's $3 like less than what I got on the other one. And that's how I know they fucked up and they paid me on the old number again and the new number. I looked at my payment schedule. I get paid on Mondays. Next week, I'm getting paid on Thursday. The week after, Friday. The next week, just not getting paid. So yeah, I'm going to the office again to go, am I a cosmic joke to you?
Yeah, see, these are the reasons why people talk about like a UBI and shit like that is like, it just costs less money to do. Like if we, without arguing, gave you like, $800 a week.
Yeah.
None of this would be happening.
No.
And life would just be a lot smoother.
Yes.
And like, yeah, if you get a job that's paying you, $50K a year or up or whatever, that's fine. Just phase it out. The tax department can do that because the tax department knows how much money you fucking make.
Yeah.
Because duh. Because that's why doing taxes in Australia is just like you look at a thing and it goes, oh yeah, you click 2 buttons and it's done.
It's done. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we know how much money you made because it goes through the fucking thing that we can look at.
I love it because the American one's like, take a guess at how much you earned.
So bad shit. It's so
Take
funny
a
watching
guess.
that, like from a distance.
Oh, you guessed wrong? Well, we knew the answer. Instead of just going, hey, instead of we know the answer, can we have this money?
Like the idea of like ever owing the tax department money is just so baffling to me. It's like because they overtake. So every fucking tax time, it's just like, here's the shit back that we overtook. It's like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
It's just like tricking your dumbass into saving like, $2 or $3 grand, give or take. Like that every year that was like, oh, it's TV buying time or something like, it's tax back. That's what it is in Australia. It's like more on Christmas. You just click 2 buttons and you get your shit. So baffling.
So yeah, that's been a fun saga of not existing for a day.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, cause I didn't even know. You get the weird ones.
And to ripple effect, then the job network contacts me.
Yeah, because now you've been reloaded.
Because they're like, oh, we got a referral for you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already in the system. They're like, oh, okay. Oh, and then like I go in and meet her to inform her what's going on.
So here's the story.
And every single person is like, what?
Yeah, no. Like, it's funny how much the boots on the ground people are usually very understanding because it's like, yeah, they're like, they'll deal with shit and they'll just go, yeah, it's just, this is weird and this shouldn't have happened.
And for some reason, I was only down as doing school to December. And I'm like, no, it's a year course. That's what I reported when I started it.
So you started like June or something?
July.
Oh, okay. So you were mid-year start. So it's 1 year course to be finished by next June-ish or something.
Yeah. But I failed some things, so I got to re-enroll. Because there was too much.
Oh, yeah.
There was way too much. And I was suffering mentally from it and just trying to push everything, doing 10 assessments at once. And I went, you know what? I'm going to do the ones I can. Ones that are just like, I know are impossible unless I don't want to sleep for the next week. I'll just fail those and re-enroll if I have to. Like the thing with like the autism diagnosis is being not easy. And also there's new laws in Queensland that if you have autism, like you require a special certificate from a doctor to be able to drive. Yeah, that's really funny because like I was reading up on that and it's like basically a disability thing. So like there are disabilities that impact your capacity to drive, If your hands are 2 chihuahuas, you're not going to be great at driving. If if you've suffered a massive spinal injury and don't have the use of your legs, you may need a special car, Yeah.
If you have fucked eyesight, you might need glasses. Like there are all these things that are like, yeah, fair enough, have your shit organized so you can drive. But the problem when you just kind of copy paste a big list of shit that can go wrong with you, in there is things like autism. And it's like, look, if anything, unless you're one of those autistics that can only communicate through piano, you're probably going to be better at driving. Yeah. Like that's one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, look, a human being that's not going to be distracted by faces or conversations and is hyper fucking focused on the bizarre game of musical vehicles going on around. And it's like, because it's on this big list, now it's like, you got to get like a fucking special certificate to say that you're one of the driving
for 40 years that have had the license taken away. And it's like, this person is perfectly capable of driving.
Again, if anything,
they haven't killed anyone. I would say,
yeah.
They haven't had any crashes. It's like, but you let a fucking 89-year-old person drive.
Yeah, because like.
Without any tests or anything. It's just like, oh, they're as spry as the day they started. That motherfucker was driving on the wrong side of the road at Cash Converters one time. He was just big 4-drive coming down the wrong side of the road. And all of us are like, ran out into the middle and we're like waving at him going like, what are you doing? And he looked like the grandpa from Up on acid. He did not know where he was.
Out of the way of my mobile tank.
Yeah. It's like, good Lord. So yeah, like that's been.
I kind of wonder what else is in there. It's just like, oh, you asthmatic? Oh, no car for you.
So like that's, yeah, it's been rough and like mentally and like physically because my pain has been really quite high as well. It's just been so much. I'm glad to be able to have a break now because I'm dying.
Yeah, like when I went back to uni, I just largely jettisoned everything else.
You
And,
got
like,
to.
Yeah, well, I mean, that night just quit drinking. So it was just
you
like,
had
that
no
was the
vice.
same year. It was like, I quit drinking in February. And then like by about like June, I'm just like, man, I'm really bored. Like being just sober every day. You're just like sitting there just like, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go back to fucking uni.
Because like prior to that, I like for the past 3 or so years, like smoked a lot of weed every day. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, like
and when I like moved out and on my own, I rarely touch the stuff now. Like generally for pain relief and not as often at all. And it's just wild to me because like I don't know how I used to function on that.
Because I got high. Barely. Like that's,
I was like, I feel sleepy all the time if I take it now.
Yeah. Like I figure it'll just make me really, really paranoid.
That too, yeah.
Like I
never
just get the feeling I really
I
wouldn't
got
like
that
it.
coming up and down. It's more if I hear noises. Like, yeah, no, pretty much.
They're in the walls. They're in the walls.
I did have I did start laser hair reduction.
Oh right, yeah, the laser in the hair.
And
they should just give me one of the. I'll zap it off you.
You can get them. I've got a machine. It sucks because you're not allowed to buy the high grade, zappy one.
What if we took apart a bunch of PS3s and just got like the blue lasers, and then I'll get some magnifying glasses.
I don't think so.
I'll do it. It's easy. I bet I can get the parts from Bunnings. I've been real handy lately. Like it's I'll start my own like Gabe's backyard, T-Mart, for all your trans needs.
It was
Bob Jane's T-Girls.
It got to a point where it's like shaving for me is too much. It's destroying my face. I can't get a close enough shave to be satisfied. And
what happens when you use the goo again? Gives you a rash?
It just burns my face off.
Okay.
So I'm like,
that sucks. Did you try the Veet? Because I used that on my genitals and that worked.
I tried a few different versions and it just.
I suppose, yeah, you had like real bad acne.
I had bad acne, so my skin's kind of weird. So I go to this place and I found it on a Reddit that was like, oh, these are trans inclusive places.
We laser you face.
And it turns out like this is only one of 3 that's in Australia. Because they use a special like French style of laser, and this one's permanent.
French laser.
Yeah, I know.
Leave it to the French to invent the fucking pube laser.
So this one's permanent, which is great. Most lasers aren't permanent.
Most lasers are set to stun.
And they need a lot of maintenance, but these ones pretty much are.
It just kills the hair follicle.
It kills it. Now, this lady was really interesting. She's been doing this stuff for like 30 years, and apparently she started when she was 17 giving electrolysis to trans people.
Huh.
And electrolysis is fucked. They use little needles and kill every individual.
And have to like individually fucking zap. Fuck, man.
So people who have light hair and stuff, hair removal doesn't work as well on because the laser is essentially like when we wear a black shirt on a hot day and you absorb the fuck out of the heat. The hair's the same. It absorbs the laser, like more of the laser and stuff. So if you've got really dark hair, perfect. Perfect for removal. If the lighter you go, and good Lord, if you're ginger, you're going to have trouble. And that's why they usually
makes the hair stronger.
A combination of laser first and then electrolysis down the line,
which
is expensive. And like you can imagine, like a laser does a whole section at once.
Electrolysis does a pore.
Yes.
You got to fucking use like needle lasers on a pore.
Is nuts. And over 40% of our clientele are transitioning. Apparently the doctors really recommend that one. And I was like, I just want to go on a consultation. I'm like, no, screw it. Let's do it. Let's laser me. They put these little goggles on you. Yeah, I'm not shaving at the moment, and I'll get to why in a moment. I put the little goggles on, and these things are like little black, and you can't see shit. And
so they don't just fucking annihilate your retinas.
They put a special gel on you, a conductive gel. It just feels like I'm smearing Vaseline all over my face.
Yeah, they do. Because I sometimes get like CT scans and shit for my joints.
Kind of that stuff.
Yeah, they get it. They're just like, here comes the lube.
And then
it's always so cold.
It feels like the heat of the sun has collided with my face. It is a short little hot zap. And you just see it flash through, like, because your goggles.
Yeah, through like the fucking infinity void.
Yeah. Right now, like, if I look down, it's black. But if I really look at the light quickly, like, you get a little flash. That's like that, but pure red. It was just like.
So they already had a stab at like the left side.
They did. They did my whole face.
All right.
And fuck, it hurt. Like. At first I was like, this isn't too bad. And then I realized
okay,
like,
well, now we're turning it on.
2 minutes later, my whole body was shaking and I was sweating. Like it was, and my partner was in the other room and she was saying she could hear me go, like really
Imagine
loud.
walking into Eddie and just hearing, it's like, I'm rethinking
and
this.
after I felt like weak-legged, like it was an experience. And like they give you ice to put on your face. And good Lord, like my face was red and stuff. And it's just lasering your face.
Yeah, no, it's just a laser.
And
It's just face laser.
And then I have another appointment in 3 weeks and then 4 weeks and then until it's done. It shouldn't take too long because apparently I've got the perfect hair.
Oh, it's fortunate at least.
She's like, oh, because you're so young and your skin's good. And she's like, how old are you? And I'm like, 35. She's like, no.
See what I mean?
It's the best.
See what I mean?
She's like, you don't go out in the sun.
We're not as old. Yeah, we're not as old as olden days people.
She's like, good.
Yeah.
I had the second most fair skin type.
Huh.
Yeah. So it was.
This is what I mean, man. Like, my dad was just like, oh, I'm gonna put fucking olive oil on myself and just go lay in the sun. It's like.
So afterwards, like my face was pretty much red and swollen for the night. She said I could shave straight away, but I left it for 2 days.
I mean, I would not want to. Like, if for any reason my face were red and swollen, I don't want to shave.
Look, I know.
I'll drag a razor across this.
Seeing facial hair is very not okay for me.
I know, but look, you got to accentuate.
And the thing is, I was going out, and I didn't want to
with your hairy tomato face.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I was like, I'm gonna shave, and good Lord, that made it worse. And that's why I haven't shaved in a while, and it's pretty long right now, and I hate it. But like, I want to wait till it's a bit close to the appointment because I don't want to keep scraping my face to death.
Yeah. Or will it make it better if there's more hair for it to work on? Like if the
as long as the hair is actively growing, then it works.
Right.
It doesn't really matter but some hair is, I think, needed. I don't really know how it works, but because I guess it kills the follicle. So as long as it's active and
I'm just curious because it's light, so it's got and like if it doesn't work on gingers for bizarre magical reasons, I'm figuring there's got to be some kind of if the follicle's long enough, maybe it can absorb more of the fucking photons and help kill the fucking thing. I don't. Face lasers are a science beyond my current understanding.
Oh, I forgot to talk about the dude in Centrelink. When I was waiting for my appointment, there was this bogan to my right. And his father, I assume it was his father. They seem to be talking like a father and son, but they could be gay lovers for all I know.
Oh, I finally saw the thing I've been waiting to see my whole life, the gay tradie. I was at the fucking mall at because my little wireless headphones that I do like. So I got like the Beats wireless headphones, right?
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about the brand name, but these have an amazing battery life and range.
Right.
And so great. Something went weird. Remember the light was just on always?
Yeah.
With 2 years ago. But they held on for this long and then they were slowly falling apart and then they just weren't connecting. And I was like, all right, now I got to go get another fucking set of them. So I dragged my ass to the fucking mall and forgetting it's fucking Thursday. Ugh. And that's just cunts at the mall. And it's all stupid fucking teenagers who have nowhere else to go and shit.
Yeah.
But while I'm there, there's this fucking how there's in Australia, there's just those tradies that all look like the lead singer of System of a Down.
Yes.
There's just a type for some reason. There's just that in high vis with just his fruity little boyfriend. And, walk around, holding hands, cuddling and shit at the mall. And it's just oh, look at you. 20 years ago, you'd have had this shit kicked out of you. That's something,
That's very true.
Fucking in high vis, it's visibility.
So these guys are talking and they're, instead of saying, they would have said fucking there.
Yeah.
Every second to third word is a fucking or a fuck. And it's amazing. The older one then starts talking about Star Wars. And I'm just like, I did not expect this, but here we go. And he's trying to tell the son about like backstory bits behind the filming about Ahsoka. And I'm just like, this is too much for 10 a.m. in the morning for me. And the son then just goes, which one has Jabba in it? Jabba's my favorite. But I think he said Jabba. I can't remember.
That, like
either way,
I feel for
his
that
favorite
is Jabba.
Which is, whose favorite is Jabba?
I know.
Who?
There's just a lot to that sentence. Like that's one of those ones where it's not wrong exactly. It's just alien. Like an alien just picked a Star Wars character. Was like, oh, that'll be, I like him. He's a big special effect. Yeah. There's probably lots of like people who's like, oh yeah, Jabba's my favorite character.
Oh God.
It's like, you sure about that, champ? It was like fucking, what was it? What was the movie? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Time Bandits. This lunatic that I was in my security guard course when I was getting my fucking, bar drunk wrangler's license. Just out of nowhere, like, because, like, you'd have like lunch break, but, you're in an air conditioned office, so no one wants to go anywhere. So we're all just sitting in there eating like a sandwich or whatever the fuck. And so there's just a bunch of us sitting around, and one guy decides he wants to start a conversation. And he just says, Time Bandits is the funniest fucking film I've ever seen.
How do you engage with that? Like,
you can't. Like I say this as a, person who is sort of a Terry Gilliam fan. Time Bandits is only not like Time Bandits is my favorite Terry Gilliam film. That would just be weird, but at least it's like coherent.
Yeah.
Time Bandits is the funniest film I've ever seen is only true if Time Bandits is the only film you've ever seen. Like it's not. But this guy also then went on to talk about how like he wrote the original soundtrack for Coyote Ugly and Disney didn't want to pay him, so they were going to kill him.
You know what? I believe him.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I've just misjudging this all this time. Maybe Time Bandits is the funniest fucking film. I should give it a rewatch. So just like, a big head chasing dwarves down a hallway. What's not hilarious about that?
And then like the older one says, "Oh, A New Hope." He's in A New Hope. And then the kid's like, "No, Empire Strikes Back." And I'm like, "Excuse me?"
No, he'll really love like one of the special editions that's got like CG Jabba.
It's just
that's all he knows.
No, absolutely. But like that's the thing is this kid like he's like I always liked Jabba when I was younger, and I'm like that's even more confusing.
Yeah, did he mean Jar Jar?
No, because he specified from the original movie.
Right, dude. Like the prequels could be the original movies as far as he's concerned. No,
they could, but no, he said the originals with like Luke Skywalker, etc. Right. But anyway, just hearing that, because like as a kid, you'd be like, I like the heroes, look like, or even Darth Vader.
You could really like the bits with Jabba in it, but it's such a weird, because he's barely a character.
So this child was simple enough to go he Jabba, which is great because they're still fond of Jabba. Jabba gonna give you up.
I imagine him sitting at home trying to like have like the fucking chair trap, but with like an office chair.
Excellent.
And like a laundry basket and his little brother, trying to just like trap the baby brother in the laundry basket with the cat that's a bit sketchy and just be like,
I want to meet someone whose favorite character is the Rancor handler.
Yeah,
like
the weird fat guy in the loincloth.
In fact, movie, comic book, whatever. Sound off if your favorite character is something really offbeat and really stupid.
Don't make it up too, because we'll know.
We'll know.
I'll know.
Have you ever seen The Boys?
I think I watched season 1.
Okay, so recently, like, my friends would pressure me to watch it.
That sounds about right.
At TAFE, because they're like talking about The Boys. They're like, haven't you seen it? And I'm like, no. They're like, you got to watch it. I'm like, oh.
Like, I'm old enough to find Garth Ennis just a bit much.
Who's what?
Garth Ennis.
Is he the author?
Yeah, he's the one that wrote that Butt Cunts comic you were reading.
Oh, did he write The Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. You see now it's just like, oh, yeah, sense. Click. Oh, right.
No, because like I binge watched all 3 seasons within a week.
Right.
I watched the spin-off Gen V.
Okay.
Which is like, it's a spin-off, but it takes place like
High school
kind of
boys.
the same time period. It's like, it's a spin in.
It's an overlay.
Yeah.
So it's meanwhile.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was really good. Like, it was a lot better, I think, than The Boys. But then I was like, fuck it. I got to read the comics. So I read all 72 comics in a day. Autism hyperfixations.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna I couldn't do that. I can't. Like, even with the fucking pills, I can't. Part of my brain just goes get up and do something else.
No, I need more. I need more lore from something that doesn't fucking exist. You know? Cram it in there.
Yeah, because I downloaded a pack of like all the Walking Dead comics now that it's finished. And I'm like, I should, because I remember reading them back when they were up to 90 or something. Yeah. And I was just like, I did enjoy the comics. I would like to fucking catch up with that.
Yeah.
And I just never, I don't know. It's such a struggle to make. I'm still not good at making time precisely. If I don't think about it and just do something, but then that thing in the back of my head goes off where it's just like, you're not doing something you should be doing.
Yeah. So I read all of those.
Now you're honest. It was to the fuck up.
A lot different. And now that it was written by the people who made, what was the book called?
I don't know. I just call it the Butt Cunts comic.
Now that you tell me that, that makes so much sense because that book has so many slurs. Like a lot. And yeah, like the plot lines and characters were changed around quite a bit for the TV show. And I think for the better, because I don't think the comic's good by
the thing that
any fucking stretch.
Yeah, the thing that sort of like someone told me was like the comic tones it down a little. And I'm like, well, that's good. Or no, the TV show tones down the comic a bit because
the thing is, the thing that makes the TV show good is it has plot that exists and unfurls as it goes forward with characters. The comic book has a shitload of characters that just a lot of them do absolutely fucking nothing. The plot unfurls at 1,000,000 miles an hour, throwing things at you and then saying it like you should have already known it.
Yeah.
It just. Yeah. It's rough because there's a character.
Preacher,
character on the show that's
Preacher.
What's the other one called?
The Boys.
Is it the Crossed?
Huh?
Is it the Crossed?
I think it's the Crossed. Which one is that under? Is that like DC or Marvel or independent?
Oh, it'd probably be independent. The Boys started as DC, but changed to something else.
Garth Ennis's Dicks with John McCrae.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't... Crossed, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Crossed. I read all of that. I don't know why I did. Morbid fascination.
It's just like... the amount... the same thing happened with Preacher, where it's like... The Preacher starts so well, and then it starts to wobble, and then it sort of just, I don't know. It doesn't fall apart exactly, but it just gets lame.
Yeah.
And it never kind of, he's got such an aversion to a lot of, not fundamentally necessary elements of storytelling, but, he'll get rid of, what you might call the cheesy cliches, but then doesn't really just replace them with anything. He just thinks throwing them out is enough. And it's just like...
Right, so I'm just going to throw out spoilers because the show's fucking old and the comic's old and...
The comic's been around for a while.
I need to talk about this shit because... The show assembly and comic revolve around a premise of superhuman beings, right? Now... The show it winds up and it eventually comes out that it's from a drug that's been injected into babies when they're young. So the superheroes are created. Now, in the comic book, there's shitloads more superheroes just all over. And apparently it is from either drugs or just naturally, sometimes it is inherited in birth.
Right.
There's a character on the show called Mother's Milk. Never know why he's called that. He's called MM. In the comic, you find out why he's called that. because his mother worked in an old factory that used to make the serum to make superheroes, like they all started getting fucked up from it, from the production line, because nothing was cleaned. It was all just, you know.
They were inhaling weird superhero baby juice.
Yeah. So her son shrivels up if he doesn't have mother's milk. And that's why he's called mother's milk. But from the milk, he's also got superhuman powers because of all the milk all over the years. His brother was special.
When you say mother's milk,
yeah,
you mean like breast milk?
Yeah.
Right.
Of
course, it's Garthiness. Stupid question.
His son, the other son of his brother is special. And his powers manifest and he grows really big muscle mass and it crushes his head in because he's wearing a football helmet. He crushes it and dies. And the parents, like the father tries to go after the company is responsible and all this stuff and spends his life doing that. MM has to constantly drink his mum's breast milk or he will like shrivel up. And we end up seeing like, you can't see her because she's shaded in the panels. His mum, because mother's milk, when gets the breast milk hidden from him, so he's not at his best when fighting, and he ends up losing the fight. And you see that the main character like looking and goes to visit his mother, and like just a big long tit comes out and like grabs him, wraps him up, and she's like, "It's my boy," and then like shoves a giant like tit in his mouth. And
goth.
Yeah.
He's got that Kojima quality of like, you just need someone around to filter a little bit. Like I do like the, you know, in essence, the idea of like, let's commit to something weird. Like I do appreciate
absolutely.
that. But it's just like, you know, you can't have wacky guy. You at least need one of them to be the straight man occasionally. You know, you need some degree of normalcy for the absurdity to stand out. Because otherwise it's just like, all right, you know, of course there's a big tit monster, you know.
Yeah. It's interesting because the show basically centers around like Homelander really strong as kind of the character and focus. He is the hero. He's the centerfold of everything, their business and stuff, but he's really fucking unstable because he grew up as a baby in a lab and never got what he needed. And the fact he's pretty much invincible, can do whatever the fuck he wants. And you slowly see his like character unraveling because they were supposed to save people from a plane, ended up fucking up killing the pilots, and then just left them all to die. So like
we get it, Garth. Nobody's good. Okay.
Whereas in the comics, Homelander's a dick, but not in that way, because the boys essentially are a group of people that formed because they were like, superheroes are no good. Like we need to like keep an eye on them because they can do whatever the fuck they want. All this sort of stuff.
It's like if Batman were a homeowners association.
Yeah, pretty much. And in the book, it's established that the original team had a run-in with the Seven, which is essentially their Avengers.
Justice League.
Yeah, Justice League, whatever. And previously, but they had information on them, so there was a ceasefire between them for years, and they had an agreement that they wouldn't fuck with each other. Whereas on the show, like these people have always operated in secret. They've never had a big confrontation with them and stuff like that. They have dirt on Homelander in the comic. They show him like eating babies and like killing people and like having sex with the back of their heads and stuff. Also they had like 9/11 in the comic. But they changed it that the Seven tried to stop the plane and it ended up crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge. But there's a big panel of Homelander ripping off the front of the door into the cabin where like the terrorists are and just yelling the N-word repeatedly. And it's like...
That's funny as shit.
Because like he's...
Not for the reasons Garth thinks, but
he's
like,
turbo racist in the comic because like, you know, he's...
Because, yeah, we get it, Garth. Nobody's good.
And just lordy, because...
I gotta find that.
They send him the photos of what he's done. He doesn't really remember doing them. And that drives him crazy because he's Homelander. He can do anything. And he thinks, oh, why can't I do it? And it turns out at the very end, there's a clone of Homelander. And he's the one who did that stuff. And he just and I know now it's fucking Garth because he takes off his mask, that stupid fucking grin. And it was like, it was me. He's like, I did it all. It was good and stuff like, and it's just like the most basic ass shit writing. And it's just like, good Lord, dude. And I'm worried for the show because in the later season, they've shown the same character who turned out to be the clone. He died in the last season, but in the season 4 trailer, he's back. And I'm like, please, no.
See, I feel like The Boys is one of those situations where this would have been good as a short run series and then it took off and they're like, stretch it out.
But the thing is, the series is still good. Like, it's gone in a really good direction and it's gone in a way that is finale. Like, it's building up to a final. There's no way around this because they end up taking a serum that temporarily gives non-superhumans superpowers. But we find out that anyone doing too much of that, like, essentially get brain tumors, like, straight away. And one of the main characters did that, so now he's got 6 months to live. So there's like a cap on this, and like the escalation started getting violent because like Homelander just pretty much went to a rally against him and just killed a dude, like straight up. And everyone loved it. Everyone was cheering because like they're on his side, and he's just like laughing. I was like, yeah, this is what happens. There's a scene where he flies up top of the building. He's just masturbating off the building. Like, I could fucking do anything. It's like, he can. Who's going to stop him? Oh, Mum, Superman's up there masturbating on the corner. What are we going to do, honey? He's Superman.
Oh, God, Dennis.
Yeah, the show much, much better than the comic. Like, oh, God.
I feel like it's one of those situations where just the constraints of a television show, particularly in terms of like, time and stuff like that, it will just force you to cut out an awful lot of the, less focused drivel.
Oh, I forgot. Like one of the last panels of the comic is like, because the thing is, they've been working on superheroes for like decades and stuff. Like when they die, they just make someone else to the same costume, the same name to seem like his superheroes never die. That sort of shit. And in the end, they were like trying to rebrand them and they're all wearing like pretty much Ku Klux Klan things. And it's really funny because like you can tell there's old characters in there because there's a character called the Deep and he wears like an Atlantean, diving helmet and it's cursed so he can never take it off. So one of the Klan hoods is just like the diving hood with the, and it's just like, it's so silly. Like I get it. The point is to tell it's him, but also like, dude, we get it. They're the evil people. We get it. Like,
no, I feel like that's the goth in us thing. Is it's like, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it. We get it.
I think the big reason I find the show very delightful is it's Carl Urban is fantastic.
Oh, he's a peach. I do like Carl Urban. I'm still bitter that fucking Dread didn't get any kind of sequel or at least, another short run series. Like you could film that in South Africa again. It'd be fine. You don't need a huge amount, it was so good. It was like the only fucking movie that really used 3D in a way that related to the cinematography. It wasn't just, look at this shit. And it did it to fantastic effect and it was good and nobody watched it. Oh, well, maybe when I'm 80, there'll be one, I just got to be patient,
Yeah, it'll happen.
Duke Nukem Forever came out. Who cares?
Yeah.
They'll have a goddamn Dread movie. No, there'll be a good Dread series where it's just every episode's just a day on the job. Just got to go to work.
I went to a tournament yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw that on Twitter.
And I entered 5 games.
Which ones?
That's a lot of games.
Trans Blue Fantasy versus
Under Night in Birth. Every
time I hear that, it makes me a little angry.
A month ago and played once and hadn't played since. That was the first game of the day. I had to verse the person who taught me the game. He destroyed me completely. After that, I went into training mode to remember the one combo I learned. Learned a little bit in there. Then the next game, I won one round in it. They perfected me, but I won one round and I got close. And then the next match I played, and then I got 2 DQs, so I got 2 free wins. The people didn't show up.
Oh.
The next guy I played wasn't in a tournament, but like the bracket organizer was like, you guys play, because he just wanted to see us play. He holds
I control the brackets.
Yeah, he holds too much power. And I got a round off that guy, and it was more of a match. So I'm just like, okay.
All I can hear is under nuts in balls. It's just every time. And that's no stupider, like, I got under nuts in balls. No, the game's called Under Night in Birth. That doesn't sound any less stupid.
Then I played Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R.
I feel like there was a stretch there where the Japanese were just nailing English, and I feel like that's ended, and it should just be taken away from them now. It's like, look, your English privileges are revoked.
That's one of the older Guilty Gear games.
Fucking is it?
Yeah, but it got rollback, so like you can play it online. And I bought it for $4.
The idea of trying to play a fucking anime fighter with anything other than flawless netcode is
Under Night in
mind-boggling.
Birth does not have rollback, and I played it, and it was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. And that's why I think I played bad, because I didn't learn anything, because I felt like I was underwater.
Yeah.
So they informed me before the Plus R tournament started that it was a 3v3 tournament.
So when
like
was
3 characters.
Plus R? So what's the order of? Fuck it. You just keep going. I'm going to look this up because I'm curious.
So I bought the game and played it for the first time 2 days ago, and learned 1 character. And they're like, "You need 3 characters for this tournament."
That's funny.
And I'm like, "Okay." My first opponent was Oren, who won the tournament. Might I add?
All right. To explain Oren to people who obviously don't know him,
if you watch,
he wrote the fucking 1 FAQ for the really well modded version of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
And if you watched our video on the tournament vlog, he the person we interviewed.
Oh yeah, the George Lucas looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Oren won the tournament, so he spanked me.
Guilty Gear X, Guilty Gear X2, Guilty Gear 2 Overture, Guilty Gear XRD Sign, Guilty Gear Strive.
That was the latest one.
All right. So what were you playing? Guilty Gear fucking.
Yeah,
there's all these normal ones, and then there's a whole separate list of like fucking all these other shit. XRD Rev 2 spin-offs. Guilty Gear Petite.
XX Accent Core plus R. It was the final revision of Guilty Gear XX.
Right.
So think of it like the Ultra Street Fighter 4 to...
There we are. Guilty Gear XX Accent Core plus R. 2013 edition. Further balancing changes were incorporated in this version.
So I played that, and
The Nintendo Switch release features the option to change the background music to the 2003 South Korean release soundtrack.
Cool.
I bet that gave like 12 people an intense boner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guilty Gear Petite.
Then my next opponent, it's on
the Wonder Swan.
Because Uni was a Swiss tournament.
What?
Swiss, you play like 4 rounds.
Okay. I don't know the terminology.
Right. So like we usually do double elimination.
Right.
Which is winner's bracket, loser's bracket out. Mm-hmm. Swiss is you play a certain amount of rounds depending how many people there are. And then like person with the most points wins.
Right.
So my second opponent in Guilty Gear, I picked 3 characters again. Hopefully these ones were better than the ones I picked last time. And I nearly win. And I'm playing Jam, and she's like a strike grapple, like sort of strike character.
Is she the one that like runs the restaurant or some shit? Yeah. Because like there was a period where every time I went over to my dad's house for like Sunday roast or whatever, my brother would like want to play fighting games, and because I would wipe the fucking floor with him with Street Fighter. Eventually it was like, okay, now you have to play games I can play. And it would be me getting angry at Guilty Gear for like the next hour. And I'll never forget because like he was playing like Jam and like some other fucking baffling thing. And I see some big cunt that looks like Goken. And I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, a karate guy. I can understand him. And then I pick him and he's actually a mech with some girl inside, and I was just so furious at that.
So this guy's, I'm dominating with Jam because like she's flipping all over the place and doing fucking wreckers and shit and then charging up. And the guy's like, I always have had such a hard problem with this character. Like you all play like this. And I turn to him and I just look at him in the eyes and say, this is my first time I've ever played this character.
That I feel like that so perfectly does sum up like,
and he goes, wow, you really all do play like this.
No, there's just shit like that. Like there are just characters that are a certain shape and there are brains that are a certain shape. And sometimes these two shapes just mesh together. And you're just like, oh yeah, look, that's, like again, it was something that came up first when my housemate was watching me play Dark Souls. And every time I got killed or reloaded, I'd go back to what the boss that killed me, right?
Yeah.
And as I was going, I would fight every single thing on the way there. Because to me, the fighting the enemies is playing the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't occur to me to run past them. I'm just like, that's not but what? And like my housemate's just like, why don't you just run? Just go to the fucking spoke door. And I'm just like, huh. And it just never fucking occurred.
Yeah.
And that's why I play Zangief. And that's why everything I play just, I will be aggressive and take damage and hope that through a combination of 30 years of neutral and angry, I'll just do more damage.
I also entered into the Poverty Cup, which is Oren and Tony, they run a mystery game at every Rambat. The one they choose. It can either be a prank game. It's a game just designed pretty much to prank you.
See, I consider Under Nuts and Balls a prank game.
A very neat
Demented
game that they...
Yeah.
No, not niche, neat game that they appreciate and think more people should know about. It was a prank game today, I feel like.
Yeah, what was it? Mortal
Kombat 2 Special Edition on the NES. So it is a 2-button fighter. You hold back to block because it's a sensible Mortal Kombat game. And it's a single elim bracket, so you lose once you're out. The bracket's pretty big. And...
It's because I have actually played Mortal Kombat 2 Special Edition. Not much because it is awful.
It is awful.
Like, Goro's in it, but also he's tiny for some reason.
And he can't jump, which puts him at a major disadvantage because projectiles are unblockable in this game. You have to duck them.
That feels like such an oversight.
And if you have a low projectile, you can't duck it. You just get hit.
Because jumping... Okay, there's like a startup to jumping.
Yeah.
And you go like... Because the game's not smooth. This isn't like, because these
days... It honestly was smoother than most jank ones I've played, which was bizarre.
Because most of the ones, there are people who are legitimately trying to like, just as an exercise, say, port, Mortal Kombat to the NES. And they, because again, it's an exercise, the value is in doing it. So they're going to a lot of effort to get it to fucking function. And then there's just things that were made in like Hong Kong in like 2005 as, bait for idiots at markets. So it's just like, there are games like Street Fighter 4 on the NES. And the full title of it is Street Fighter 4, 30 Peoples, because that's how many characters it's apparently got.
And so we started this tournament and my first opponent sits down. We've struggled to even be able to get into the game. We finally get in.
What were you playing it on, actually, now that I think about it?
Modded PS3.
Was it going through an emulator on the
running
PS3?
RetroArch.
Yeah.
It played fine. It's just the
I was just
the game. The main menu doesn't say anything. It's got two icons with no text. One's arcade, I think one's versus, and I think I went into arcade. So then they had to find a way to actually join the game. They joined the game. I picked Katana. I can't remember what they picked. We figured out very shortly that I had an unblockable projectile, which my opponent was not happy about.
No, these are not.
And then I found that if I fan lift in the corner, I jump, punch them, they get knocked down. I fan lift again, and they just get caught in it.
Yeah.
Very occasionally they slip out, but yeah.
It has more infinites than fucking Fist of the North Star.
I won that match, and then I got knocked out by the dude who won the tournament. I tied third. And he was using Scorpion, who just did this like teleport punch that was like went nearly full screen, and in the corner would be really hard to block, and it's really hard to punish. And yeah, it did like nearly half your health if you hit it right, because like it would bounce back multiple times and forwards on the edge of the wall and hit you.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's just got like this weird active hurt box that just drags on you. Yeah, because I barely played it because I was just like, this is hateful. but I have run into games that have that like weird fucking hurtbox thing where it's just if you do stuff right sometimes, you can just like land one hit in the corner and it drags down the character and each of those hits is just a hit.
Yeah. So I lost to him. And then my friend was still in. He came second. He lost to him as well. Scorpion was like bullshit. He was on the Sub-Zero gang. He was freezing a puddle on the ground, which the puddle in this version does damage to you. You touch it and does a knockdown. So in the corner, as soon as you're knocked down, you can just do that repeatedly and they just bounce.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's my game now. I love that, like, a dude's like, who's this? And I'm like, oh, I think Shang Tsung. And he's like, who's that? And I'm like, the guy who transforms. And he picks him. And then you just see, like, Oren and Tony pop up behind the monitor and go, not in this version.
Of course not.
I mean, it'd be cool if he could.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, like each member of the cast. But yeah, I know. Like, it just, the realization that you picked a character for a cool thing that you know he can do, but the one thing he can't do is that cool thing.
Well, that and also, like, homie, do you remember the, like, in actual Mortal Kombat 2, each morph is a separate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he has a move
awful.
list of, like, he can throw skulls.
Because it's on the NES, there's like 3 standardized moves.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because there's a back forward,
a down forward, a down back,
and like a quarter circle forward and a quarter circle back. That's it. Like that, every character doesn't have 3, but they might have one of the 2 different inputs.
That explains why Jax's ground pound is so good.
Yeah,
because my brain was thinking, oh, you got to charge that thing for 6 seconds.
No.
It's like, no, if it's just down back.
Yeah, Jax is the best character in the game because if you get a knockdown, he can ground pound and it's full screen. And it just will knock you over and over and over. I wish I knew that knowledge. I would have won the tournament. Taken home, Oren printed out a picture of Quan Chi wearing a Christmas hat in a little frame that said Merry Christmas.
That is good. That's a, like, credit where it's due. That is a very solid gift prize.
And if you go to my Twitter, you can see the photo we took of it because we took a few photos of it because that's the guy who won. That's all us kneeling down to and then
was that's great. I didn't even see that on the ground. You see, the reason it didn't work is because you're not making the weird gibberish noises Quan Chi makes when he's summoning his noggins.
Yeah, true. True. And the last tournament I entered in was Marvel vs. Capcom. My first opponent, I feel really sorry for, because a lot of these players are newer. They're getting into the game. And that's a hard point to get into.
Say, if they're young, they might have been like fucking 8 when that game came out. Like when was that actually? Because Ultimate came out like 6 months away from fucking the original release because of nonsense. So yeah, it might have been like 08, which is,
let's have a look.
Fucking, you know, there are 15-year-olds that are that old. You know, if you're fighting a 15-year-old, that person, that game may as well be like fucking Atari 2600 to those little shits.
Okay, 2011.
Still.
So what? That's 12 years.
Yeah, and like it's not like you got a brain before you're like 5. So like if you're 10 years old, maybe you've been playing this fucking game. Maybe.
I've been playing this game for 12 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so my first opponent sits down and he's playing Spencer. Oh, who's he playing? Spencer something Virgil, I think maybe. And
V'ger.
From the start of the match, my Wolverine does not leave his face. And
yeah, that'd be really fucking horrible too.
You know, missiles are coming in.
Yeah.
It's just so
for anyone unprepared, like it's such
missiles are a bitch because of 2 things. If you get hit and I'm not in combo stun,
you're in a combo.
You're in a combo. If I've summoned missiles and I run at your face and I dive kick you at the same time as missiles, dive kick's not always safe. However, if missiles are hitting you, you need to block. Otherwise, my combo.
Missiles make everything safe. If you go hidden missile and they happen to hit you, guess what? Your thing's over now.
So yeah, I 3-0'd that match.
God, I hate him. I fucking
after the first match, fucking Warp's standing behind me and he's shouting, just do bionic arm. And I'm like, shut up. And he's like, just do bionic arm. I'm like, shut up. Don't help him. And he did bionic arm and it worked. And I'm like, God damn it. Because like, that's the thing. Bionic arm is like invincible. It's fuck.
Yeah.
It just goes through anything. So if like I'm dive kicking towards you and you do that and I've got missiles up, missiles go away. You get the hit, you know, you might hit Doom. Things are good for you. But then I knew where the Binaconals were going to be because like it's a new tactic. So it's just like, I'm going to do it here. And I'm like, not summon in block. Now you're mine. So yeah, I beat him 3-0. The next person I had to verse was Oren. It was 3-2. I would have beat him. I got Wesker and like Oren had a game-winning combo.
Game plan for that, yeah.
And I was like, it's done. And I put my hand down as Oren drops the fucking combo. So my hand immediately was like, picked up the Wesker combo, but like I didn't expect to pick it up. So my hand was just working off muscle memory at the time. And then I forgot where the combo went. So I lost by like if I did into super, I would have won, but I didn't. So that was a really close game. Then we went to, I was in loser's bracket in top 6 and there's footage of this, which is cool because you can watch my dominant air throws in action.
The second you mentioned that, like, it's like you said air throws, and I just went, oh, you fucking cunt. Because just it drove me nuts. There's probably footage on the fucking channel of having to fucking deal with that bullshit and me just getting progressively angrier. Because you're, for some reason, and I still don't know why, you were always so good at air throws. Like, you just get them, and then it'd be like, all right, well, that's, I've got a good chance of losing this whole character now.
It's the number one thing I'm conscious of is spacing of the characters in between spaces where I can grab. So I'm versing Warp here. Warp is a person I play with quite a lot. After this, we played a set the next day and he destroyed me. He like, the best thing about leveling this scene is everyone gets a vendetta against you if you're constantly winning and getting away with this. So
especially if you've got like shenanigans.
Yeah. So like I can pick up with Wesker and OTG off a grab into some damage. Now, the thing about Wesker Doom is actually a really good choice because Beam shuts down missiles and so does Gun. Because if I'm standing there and Doom is out, he can just shoot the gun because it's a pretty much like a hit scan. And Wesker on point is a very good character.
Whiskers.
But the way I play Wolverine in Doom is I just essentially tank as much damage on Doom as possible with missiles and just play stupid with Wolverine.
Well, that crossing up with the hidden missiles is really good. Like, if you can, like,
Like, I can't believe he did that.
That's great.
He knew I was going to dash in and did it. Like, that was an amazing read.
Tech, yeah. What?
My Doctor Doom is definitely the weakest part of my team because I know corner loops and that's it.
Everyone has like, that's the thing about this game is everyone has one character that's like they can't use.
Yeah.
They're just in there exclusively for how their assist functions.
But the thing is, he's a really good character. I just need to learn to play him more.
But I just mean in general. Like,
definitely.
It may not be Doctor Doom, but everyone has that one character on their fucking team who's a function.
See, look at that.
Yeah, no, that fucking,
I dropped it.
Every fucking thing I did with like trying to play this fucking game against was just like, oh, Dr. Doom grabbed you.
Well, the thing is, the community doesn't approach me in the corner when I have Doom out anymore. And that's annoying because like now what I've been forced to do is to zone with him.
Yeah.
So I try to play the zoning game.
Fingers!
Just to get as like much damage off as I can with Doom because like I know I'm gonna be in trouble.
Using super to cancel into super is just some weirdo shit to me. There's so much, I know it's like why and there's a good strategy and everything. It's just, there's so much of this game that's just so fiddly and irritating. But it went behind you because fuck you. I got you with my twirly feet.
The hard part, like, about Wesker is he's just so fast. When he takes his sunglasses off, he gets a buff in his damage in his combo routes and he does a little bit more damage. In X Factor level 3, he is one of the fastest things on earth.
Yeah, like that's the thing about like so much of this game is it's so fast that it's just too fast for me to play. I like to be able to think.
Now, I appreciate the moxie here of choosing this team because this was the main team he played with. And his Phoenix Wright is good, but it's still Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright is one of those all or nothings where
He's a half a character until he gets his evidence.
If you get that, then it's like game changing. But it's the if.
Yeah. Because he essentially what he likes to do is set up like you get Maya out and that's a filthy.
I was going to say
filthy.
Yeah,
and then you gather evidence while Maya shields you. Because once he gets to 3 stacks of evidence, he can go into turnabout mode. And if he hits you at objection, he goes,
everything
he gets superpowered. He gets a giant finger. His links become ridiculous.
He gets to
go to jail, which hits, if he's got 3 meters, that's a super that hits anywhere on screen, as long as your opponent's not blocking.
It's one of the, he genuinely becomes one of the hardest characters in the game to deal with. Like, he basically just has, like, finger points that are these huge projectiles that don't really project exactly, but they're just a hurt box or a hit box without a hurt box. So he's fucking can just push damaging buttons that will fuck you up from anywhere. And just, again, he's almost completely unfair. The balancing point is you have to scratch around on the ground with this shit-ass character to randomly collect 3 pieces of evidence. And you might not get 3 pieces of evidence in a row. Like, you got to do it a bunch of times.
Yeah, because you get, like, fake evidence that you have to throw away.
And while there, he's just not a good character.
Cap is dangerous as fuck. Cap is a very simple character, but does stupid damage.
America.
Yeah, he is really good. That was supposed to be into Doom Super, but I fucked it up. I was fucking
That's what I mean,
put
like,
up all day.
He still hit you, but then just like the hidden missiles, like pachoo, just drift down out of nowhere and like fucking. I mean, look, is this impossible? No. Is this a great situation to be in? Also, no. I mean, that's a good choice.
It is. The Hyperstar Charging Star is pretty invincible.
And then
but yeah, you don't have the health. Yeah,
you did one mistake.
And he's going to go back to the other team, which is a really good choice because I am too used to the Phoenix team.
Yeah.
And I know how to take Phoenix down. Wesker and Doom together are much harder to deal with, especially because he uses Plasma Assist.
You're too stupidly aggressive with Wolverine and Doom.
Yeah.
For that fucking looking for evidence shtick to work.
Yeah.
It's like Maya's out. Doesn't matter.
No.
Your Wolverine's an angry little nugget. He's over Maya. He's in your face. And missiles are coming because, of course.
There's an air throw.
And, air throws just because.
I didn't have an assist, though. Couldn't do much. Missiles.
You see what I mean? Like, that's why hidden missiles fucking great. It's like, yeah, there are ways around it. Yeah, you can use bombs and shit. But they're just raining down. And like, oh, you got a hit in. That's pretty good. Or, oh, you interrupted Doom a little bit. That's good. But then, here come the missiles.
You managed to take that
throw,
one.
yeah. And then, like, look, see, he was in a combo. And then Dr. Doom's like, and then his combo got ended, and then your combo started. I don't think you got
that was a good choice because, like,
especially here, like, because now you get rid of 2 characters, maybe.
That Doom is dead. That Doom is dead because that's
unfortunate.
You can't, like,
it's a bummer you didn't get Wesker out instead. Pinball Wizard.
Got the random cross up.
Yeah, I hate that move for that reason.
All right, take out a big threat to start with, but we got to do work here because, like, look at this. There's so many characters. 2 characters at almost full health.
That, just like every time I see that, all I can hear is that Sesame Street, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Wesker 12.
Now the hard part is Virgil. Virgil is such a he's such a good character in so many ways.
He's broken bullshit.
Yeah, especially because of swords. Like, swords just being able to apply pressure and go, hey, your opponent needs to block for, like, the whole duration of this.
Yeah, your opponent can't do stuff.
Because, like, that's going to beat that out. And swords are counted as a projectile, so you can't do things like counters.
That's funny. Pichu.
Oh yeah, that was a grave error. Because I was supposed to, like, it was supposed to be a dash to continue the combo, and my fingers went blub blub blub, and I was like, well, now I'm doing this now.
You got a game of stupid fingers. Can, like, Wolverine not, like, foot dive or something to?
He can do his ground slide, but you need an assist to be able to pick him up.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, great, but like
Missile.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised the amount of times that missiles like actually like goes through that.
Huh. That's a good throw. Ooh. Help me, missiles.
Because like, yeah, Wesker's like pretty hard to deal with when he's there. You can foot dive it, foot kick it, foot, whatever. You can dive kick it. That's the word. But it's risky. And I was just like, fucking may as well.
Yeah. It's just fun to hit Wesker out of it. It's just satisfying.
Oh, it is absolutely.
It's a moral victory.
Things I have dive kicked.
Yeah.
Wesker. I've dive kicked hypercharging star. Like kicked it out of its startup. Like, oh no, there was noises.
Watching you dodge that fucking Magnum was funny as shit. No.
Also, it's
point fucking.
Everyone should know, like by now, does Amber have Wesker? Does Amber have meter? She's doing maximum Wesker on fucking pop in.
Vroom, 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 vroom. Because like every, major tournament team has like fucking Virgil on it somewhere. Was it Virgil, Doom, and something else just if you're bored?
Yeah, he's a menace.
Virgil, Doom, and like Morrigan or some shit.
I feel like that gunshot should have hit. But I think like the swords absorbed the projectile. And like I got crossed up there.
Absorbed.
That sucked because he was right under me when he popped it and just moved forward slightly.
Well, it's like the block can end if like fucking Wesker's pinballed around you. And so you were holding back, except now you're not. You're holding forward. And he comes from behind. Like it is.
And it's hard. So it's hard with Virgils because Virgils are projectiles. They're not.
Yeah.
Thing.
Bomb lightning.
See, that like crossed me up. Yeah.
You weren't even doing anything. No. You were like, okay, I'm going to block this. And then it's like.
The problem is if you get a hit early, if it hits you early and you block, you're pretty much good.
Yeah.
However, if it quickly crosses you over while you're blocking and you haven't got the hit, because block sign kind of auto corrects as you.
Yeah. So you don't have to fucking.
You don't have to be super
which
precise.
Would be impossible.
Yeah.
Like that would make the game.
There are too many things in the game where it just crosses completely over. That was for Chip. Yeah.
That was tight.
In my brain, I'm like, is that enough? Is that enough? Is that enough? And it was like, yes, thank you.
Thanks. Because that was fucking close.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, like, the thing is, you could attack Doom there.
But like the problem is,
but there's already missiles off.
Yeah, the problem is, it's like, you're just going.
Like, look at that. Yeah, look at that. The range I was at when I picked that up.
It's so fucking hateful. Like, and that's like, if you watch the, pro tournaments and stuff, what is it? Hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. It's really irritating.
This isn't a great situation considering like Doom has no health now.
He's basically got no health.
But we still got Wesker, and that is the most important thing. Wesker is the anchor of this team. He does the work. Doom just comes in to soften up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Especially because, you just had to eat some of his fucking. Oh, that's a shame. Oh,
you thought.
Oh, I got caught by it. I didn't block that. You motherfucker. Oh, you greasy son of a bitch. Oh. But I can punish that. Wait. I was like, yeah, okay, point blank. I can see why you might do that. You might catch him pushing a button. That's, it's always fun to bust out the parry occasionally. And then just, pa-choo. No, here's what's happening. I was never good at this game. I was good at upsetting you in this game, which, don't get me wrong, does delight me.
So then I had to verse Mr. Koff himself. Dejan. Dejan does work in this tournament and he's still rocking Ryu, Iron Man, Captain America. And
Dejan's commitment to the things he loves is, single-handedly holds the Brisbane FGC together.
Because Dejan beat Pixley, another player, and then, Juicy Penguin. And then Pixley, I think, had to play Oren.
The juiciest.
And got knocked to losers. So currently I have to fight Taj, because I knocked out Warp. Now I have to fight Taj, which is, Taj has the very same approach as me that uses his assists to reuse Tatsu at all times.
Yeah.
And he uses it as a very quick advancing tool, kind of like how I use dive kick. The problem is
you can air throw it.
I can air throw it, and I'm a lot more aggressive. His Captain America is scary though. Like Cap does so much damage, and he's using the scroll cap, which I hate.
Oh yeah, you're remembering that fucking Wesker can just OTG counts for you.
Yeah, but this, because Cap does damage, and then
that is a lot of damage considering, he's not X-factored.
Like that combo,
the backwalk,
hypercharging star, X-factor hypercharging star, does nearly a full health bar. It's
Captain America's backwalk in this is what I think the ladies call serving cunt.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the cattiest fucking little...
A little switch over there, but then I fucked it because try dashing's hard.
That's you in a nutshell. There'll be some amazing play and then just the gump-ass bullshit you've ever seen.
Managed to swap out Cap, but foot dives are coming.
What?
Accidental level 3.
That's a shame.
That's tragic.
I was wondering what the fuck Taj was thinking there. And it's just, right. No. And that can just keep going.
No.
How do they fix that?
No, you've got to be able to, you've got to do the infinite route. I don't know how to do that.
And that's there is an infinite that looks like that.
Yeah, it definitely uses some of that, but you've got to do it from a switch in, like attack switch. And then you go you do a combo route and it gets lower, then it gets up higher. It's I've never learned things like that because I'd rather just keep playing the game. I'm not honestly, severe enough to be able to do that.
You don't see the infinite in tournaments.
Unless you top tier players.
Yeah. And even then, you don't see them. They can do them, but they don't do them to each other.
No, because they also do such minimal damage because of the scaling that you have to do it for fucking 10 years.
Flawlessly for a full count.
And the problem is, if you're down health, down characters, your time is getting eaten as well.
Yeah.
But Cap is unlucky for the miss there, but now missiles.
Missile. Loudly announced missile.
I think starting with with Cap was definitely the correct choice, but unfortunately, X going to give it to you. I wish I could explode out of me like that. I don't know what it'd be useful for, but
I remember Wolverine's ability to just blast logos at people. Classic Wolverine mutant ability, healing factor, and graphic design.
That was good, but unfortunately, Iron Man's hard to. A lot of his normals are very stubby, and these longer ones don't link as well.
It's something from the other superheroes called stubbiness.
That's my go-to with Doom. It's basic. It just does it doesn't do much.
Cheese.
Yeah, I was trying to get Mash on Wake up to.
Why do you do that?
We wanted to safely get Iron Man out.
Okay. Suppose the missile.
I like how Wesker went the complete wrong different, but that's very unfortunate.
That's a bummer.
Happy birthday.
Nice cheese. Nice.
Dejan has some of the best Hados in this fucking game I've ever seen. This motherfucker will be twirling over your head and see a chance and pop that shit and snipe you with it. It's so good. Because a lot of players will hold on to their meter to do, extensions and other stuff.
Oh, yeah, I remember this because I remember driving you nuts with it once. I love that you're flying. That's so fucking funny.
Got the angle wrong. I was hoping to get it. But the long distance straight foot dive, I love it. I can't do that to a lot of people. But the ones I do it to can do it once or twice before they get wires. But out of X Factor, Doom's going to win. Iron Man's beam's not fast enough.
No, you have to make that fucking X Factor Iron Man pay.
See, there he goes. He popped it straight out of the Tatsu to pick up Doom there, but unfortunately missiles are still coming. That should be a greeting card, but unfortunately missiles are still coming.
It's see this. I don't like games with assists. You know, it's one thing to have like a character that sort of has them in some way, because there'll usually be some, you know, there'll be like a sane balancing mechanic. When it's just fundamental to the game, it's just like, all right, everything how the game works sort of doesn't work in these situations.
I don't know. To me, I don't like other games that do it. I like this game and this game alone. And I don't know why.
Well, it's the second Mortal Kombat was like, we're going to have like assists. I was like, oh, this would be good. Because they're not going to know how to balance that.
They laid the template of it because in Injustice 2, it was literally apparently Mortal Kombat 1 was supposed to be Injustice 3.
Yeah, you can
and
tell that
they used the same engine. And also in Injustice 2, the DLC for the turtles were essentially assists. Because you played one turtle and the rest would assist moves.
Shopping,
and it looks exactly the same.
I just knew there was no way in fucking like hot, sweaty hell that they were going to be able to balance that.
Oh, no. God, no. It's just Mortal Kombat's already such a high damage combo heavy game that you're going to have assists and it's just going to be like meterless 40% combos everywhere.
Wow, that dropped.
I know. You don't see it often.
That's the problem with Pinball Wizard. Like there's just, you know.
Well, he has his glasses off. The sun got in his eyes.
I can't see, but I apologize. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that kind of was unfortunate.
Nice to see.
We still got Wesker though. But Wesker's got hit. So unfortunately, that's not. And Dejan does have the meter here to spend. Unfortunately, that doesn't OTG. I fucked up. Pinball Wizard.
It's so funny. It's just like
I shot the shield.
That's great. What's Wesker's super gonna just bibbity bibbity bibbity? Just gonna just pinball about the fucking room like a fucking child on
I need to pay the actor for Wesker to say Pinball Wizard on Cameo and just mod it in.
Actually, speaking of mods,
Pinball
like, have you
Wizard.
seen the fucking, you know, mod Ultimate versus Capcom fucking
Yeah,
situation?
the palette swap stuff.
Oh, no, not palette swap stuff. Like, they finally cracked it so you can have, like, because prior to this, if you wanted to add, like, a fully modded character, right? Like, they people are, like, basically moogening it, but with, like, you had to replace another character. And then someone figured out a way to crack the fucking character select so you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So now they're making these fucking things that have just got, like, other characters.
Yeah.
And they're well designed because they're, you know, by people who want to play more Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, basically. You don't have to deal with like dark, shadowy Ori in a 15-minute.
I walk a very fine line with those sorts of things because they're fun, they're new, they're exciting. Then I'll start learning that instead of the game that I need to play.
And you'll become one of those people like Oren.
I already am. But like, again, like I want to play this actively in tournaments. And if I learn a team that doesn't exist in tournament game, like what am I doing with my life, you know?
Yeah, I know. Hey, this Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 doesn't have like fucking Ultron or...
But that's the thing is if we ever do one of those tournaments, I'll win. I'll be like, look.
I legit think it should be, you know, I feel like it should be tournament standard.
We've
like
look, we do want to try one at one point. But it's kind of a thing in preparation, you need to contact Marvel players and go, hey, we're going to play this. You know, if you want to play it, like recommend downloading it and, you know, playing it. Because otherwise, like you're going to get people who just join the tournament who just know Marvel. And then suddenly Venom's in there.
You know what you do? You do it like fucking Omega mode in Street Fighter 4. You just go, all right, the wackadoo game tournament for this one is... you know, Ultimate Mod versus Capcom fucking 3.
Oh, that pickup was so good, but unfortunately, like, it dropped. I don't know why it dropped. Because, like...
Doesn't matter, though.
Yeah, so I beat Dejan. Dejan really came back.
It's in, well, because he's got, like, King of Fighters brain. So, like, 3 players he can deal with, but, like, the assists, that's novel to him, you know? And I'm going to pee. So, whatever. This is you losing, is it?
No.
Oh.
All right, so the next match is against Pixley, and Pixley plays Sentinel. And Sentinel is a dick.
Classy is proudly sponsored completely by its fans. We thank you for your support.
It expanded somehow. It expanded somehow. I'll have you know